In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a few simple ways that I have massively improved my sleep over the past month or so. Now, these ways are relatively easy to implement, but they will take discipline to implement on a consistent basis. And so you have to be truly committed to making your sleep better. It has to be a priority that you set for yourself. It has to be a goal, and it has to be something that you're willing to make sacrifices for. And if that applies to you, then I'll continue with this video and you should continue listening. So, these methods are nothing new. I'm not originally coming out with these, but they're just simple ways that you can, like I said, massively improve your sleep. So you wake up feeling more refreshed and energized, and you just have a better life because, we sleep a third of our lives, maybe more. Some of us probably less, but on average, it's probably a third of our lives. And so sleep is a massive part of life. And how much sleep you get and the quality of your sleep impacts the day you have. And so it's very important. I used to think it wasn't, but now I do. And so I take these measures, I follow these certain protocols to make sure that I get some of the best sleep I can possibly get. So firstly, is one that I struggled with quite a lot before when I used to smoke weed, and that is don't eat a meal or really anything 4 hours before bed. Why? Because digestion is such a physically taxing process, and if you're still digesting your food, your body can't focus on repair, your body can't focus on rejuvenation and what it's supposed to do during sleep. Every night when I used to smoke weed quite a lot, I would get the munchies and I would eat, and I would go to bed usually right after I'd eaten, because obviously weed makes you feel a bit sleepy and it also makes you feel like you have the munchies. And so I'd go and eat and then I'd go to sleep, and I'd often wake up like feeling, I don't know how to describe it, just feeling inflated. Do you know what I mean? Whereas now I don't usually eat 4, 5, 6 hours before bed these days. And what that has done is I wake up feeling and looking slim. I wake up feeling energized and alert and focused and agile and snappy, you know. Everything's there when I want it, mentally and physically, sharp, and it just feels a lot better. I feel like it's the best way to do things. Usually, if you think about our ancestors, what they would have done is they probably had one meal a day, to be honest. They weren't spacing it out throughout the whole day like we do these days. And obviously, they don't live in the world that we live in now. But our ancestral DNA is still within us. And for probably hundreds, if not thousands of years, what they would do is they would wake up, they would go on the hunt, they would get their food at about midday, 1, 2 p.m. They would eat, and then they would go to sleep later in the day. So they were probably eating, 6, 7, 8 hours before bed. And this is something with a lot of scientific research behind it. Brian Johnson, who's very a very optimized sleeper himself, advocates for this. So it's a guaranteed way to improve your sleep. Number 2 is red light. So this could be, like for me, I have a machine here. Let me just show you it. So this machine is ceramic infrared, and I use this sometimes for muscle relaxation, to ease tension, to improve skin, to improve mental cognition. It's got many benefits. 300 watts. If you want to have a look at this, is Biora, and it's very powerful. You just put your goggles on and you sit in front of that and you put it on maybe some sore areas of your body. Great after a workout, also great after a cold plunge or something like that, but also great before bed. But if you can't afford something like that, which is quite expensive, I think that cost me about £80. If you can't afford something like that, that's okay. What we can do instead to replicate the red light, which produces melatonin and doesn't block it, like blue light, which is something that we're going to get onto, you can get LED lights. So for me, I've got some LED lights going up around my room, very, very cheap. But what you can do is an hour before bed, this is what I do myself anyway, an hour or two before bed, before I'm actually going to go to sleep, as I'm doing my kind of wind down routine, I will turn my lamp off, I will get my LED lights on, and I will put the red light on max. And then slowly, as I'm getting closer to sleep time, I will lower the brightness. And what I find is it makes me feel very tired. And I guess that's a sign that the melatonin is being produced, because one effect of melatonin is it makes you feel tired. So yeah, it's just a good way to reduce the impacts of blue light, which we've been having throughout the day, and also engender the impacts and the most beneficial production of melatonin, which is super important for sleep. Number 3, no screen time an hour before bed. A lot of people don't like to hear this because we're so addicted to our screens these days. You know, we got our phone in one hand, we got the TV, we got the laptop, we got all of our all of our technologies. Couldn't get my words out then. And it's very hard to resist the temptation of distracting yourself. People find it hard to be bored these days and to sit in boredom and stillness. And so, if you are going to cut out your screen time an hour before bed, which does massively improve your sleep, by the way, because blue light obviously blocks melatonin, stimulates your brain, makes it harder for you to fall asleep, then what you can do is you need to set a replacement for scrolling or for watching videos or whatever you're doing before bed. And so that's what we're going to get onto next. But what I would recommend is set your alarm, do whatever you need to do, like create a schedule for the next day, write some notes, send some messages, check some notifications, whatever you need to do it before an hour within the time you're going to go to sleep. Because then you're not trying to catch up on things that you haven't yet done right before bed, and you just get to smoothly sail into the night. So that's another important one that I probably struggle with the most. The other ones are more simple, but this one is very hard because it's so easily accessible, but it's something that I'm still trying to work on and practice to this day. Another one is reading. Now, this is the substitute you're going to replace scrolling or watching videos for. You're going to read. And I'm not talking reading on Kindle or on your laptop or on a tablet. I'm talking reading a physical book. A physical book. If you have a physical book, that's amazing. I know they cost a bit of money, but it's worth it. I've got an entire bookshelf up there of books that some of them I haven't read, but it's good because I have my own little library going on. I can draw from them. And yeah, it's amazing. Reading before bed also engages your brain in a way that is stimulating, but in a way that's also calming the nervous system and preparing it for something like sleep. So it's a great habit to include. It's a great replacement to any scrolling or something like that you might be doing with your technologies. And it's a great way to prepare for sleep. So, I mean, that's all you really need. I mean, you could add some stretching into that as well, because stretching the body, releasing the tensions in the body, that's amazing as well. You could also add into it some deep breathing or some prayer or some meditation, just to, like I said, set your mind at ease and quiet your thoughts. So, I mean, it's not hard. It's very simple. It's not hard to understand how to sleep well, but it can be hard to implement these protocols. But take it step by step. Even if you can do only one or two, you're going to have better sleep measurably. You know, it might be 10%, it might be 20%, but it's going to be better. And so if you, let's say as the weeks go by, week 1, you include one of these things. then week 2, another, then week 3, another, and week 4, another. And slowly, you're getting used to having these things as part of your routine, and you're getting better sleep, and you're seeing the benefits, which is going to make you want to keep moving forward with the protocol. And so, yeah, it's very important for us to get the best sleep we can, especially in this world of constant distractions and, temptations. So yeah, prioritize your sleep. And these are some ways that I sleep better myself. I hope they can help you. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.